speak to God. Tavayogi told me that a guru shall observe and test his student for some 12 years before he passes him the divine knowledge. I have passed the several tests that Agathiyar had given me, I believe, in these 21 years of staying on the path. Agathiyar in my very first Nadi reading in 2002 asks that I build him a temple. Excited and elated, I later found that he had told some 50 others before me the same too in their Nadi readings. I did try though, but was not successful in this venture, as the temple committees I sought out to install Agathiyar's shrine in their temple grounds were not willing to provide the space. In 2004, my first guru Supramania Swami initiated building a temple for Lord Murugan in Tiruvannamalai and asks us to support his lifelong dream. Then a mysterious stranger comes by his abode and asks him why he was stepping back from Gnanam to Bakthi. He dropped the mission that instant. Meanwhile, since I had ventured to build one after the Nadi reading but failed, Agathiyar made all the arrangements seeking the approval of the patron founder of the Jegathguru Sri Raghavendra Swamigal Miruthiga Brindavanam Kinta, Perak, through his Nadi reading. Simultaneously, in a Nadi reading for me, he had me commission his idol to be made in Swamimalai and placed there. He had me receive and care for his statue till the Brindavanam was complete. Upon nearing completion in 2012, Agathiyar switches his plan and decides to stay put in my home instead. I thought the subject of building a temple was put to rest when in 2016 Tavayogi completed his new ashram cum temple some 2 kilometers away from his earlier ashram where our journey started. It was not to be so, as Lord Murugan jumped onto the bandwagon and wanted a temple for himself. He told me in the Nadi reading in 2018 that he would provide the land, money and people too. But I was not keen. As I did not move, he sends Agathiyar coming through a devotee to convince me into building one. As I chose to remain silent, he replied that he shall do in 18 months' time. As the deadline approached, Agathiyar in a Nadi reading told me that he had tested me. Agathiyar had wanted to gift me a Nadi too to use for myself and others. I did not want it. He started healing those whom he brought to AVM. As I and my wife wanted it to stop, he listened. Later he made us realize that these were in no way harming us. He was only using us and the venue for his purpose. Lord Murugan too came and asked us to step aside and watch him play his lila. AVM was a hype of an activity in those days with many visitations from the deities and siddhas. Finally, they brought all the group puja and charity to a stop just in time for the pandemic to set in. The next 2.5 years were spent in individual puja and contemplation, asking us to observe the breath and go within. When the coast was clear, Agathiyar ventured into the homes of a couple of devotees before commanding us not to bring his statue out. The visitations began post-pandemic as AVM started to receive devotees. The devotees were told to sit in meditation now. Agathiyar had me teach yoga to a disciple who was asked to teach the rest. He brought a couple of devotees over and had me take up the role of guru to them, which I turned down. Again, considering my wish, those who came left and mysteriously remained silent. Now in asking me to worship Valay, he tells me that cities shall come by. Again, I asked myself, do I really need these cities? If those were his wishes, I too had some wishes. I told Tavayogi that I wanted to see Agathiyar and Ramlinga Adigal. He told me that that was possible and in the same breath asked me if that was what I wanted. I remained silent, sensing that I had erred. I told Tavayogi that I wanted to see him become light as did Ramlinga Adigal and Jegathguru Swamigal before our eyes. He told me that he had missed the boat and has to come back again. When Agathiyar came around asking what each of us gathered before him wanted, though I had no asking, and since he waited on me expecting an answer, I told him that I desired to take many births and come back to serve him as I did now. He too, like Tavayogi, asks me if that is what I wanted. I remained silent, sensing that I had erred again. Thinking that asking for Gnanam would be the right thing to do, since Tavayogi always spoke about the need for us to move from Bakthi to Gnanam, he comes again later telling me that I had asked for Gnanam. He tells me that it was not gifted but I had to earn it through my efforts. Just as we have read and heard about Lord Shiva giving boons, Ramlinga Adigal told me the more I distance myself from these wants the more that they shall shower. So what do you ask of them? Today I just want him. I want him to reside within me for the rest of my life. I do not need anything else that he has to offer. I believe he is listening as he has always been. I believe he shall grant this too as he had always done.